And at this time, I'd like to ask American Legion chaplain of the District 9 to present the invocation. William Getz.
Well, good morning, everybody. Since I'm short, I've got to change this a little bit. There we go. Hope I got a nice sunny day. So I'm just going to say good morning to our loyal and faithful supporters of veterans throughout time. Thank you for allowing me the privilege of honoring our brave men and women who have served, sacrificed, and have given their all. I'm William Michael Geltz, a Vietnam vet, Navy with Marines 1966 through 69. I'm blessed and privileged to be a charter member of Post 161 in Antioch of the American Legion, the Sons, the Riders of the Rolling Nines, Guard, and Sons, and anyway, another group that I do prison ministries with in Concord. My father was a veteran of Army, 14th Cavalry. He lied about his age to get in. He was the last of the horses. Then the Navy in World War II. All of my family and ancestors have served proudly. Some came home, some did not. Some were captured and tortured and beheaded. Some were wounded and had limbs blown off. War is not glamorous and has been ongoing. The price of freedom is not free. I ask now that you uncover, please, for prayer. Holy and majestic Father, you have given us free rein to run our lives and make our own decisions in life. We need your strength, love, and wisdom in all things, because we are not in control as we think we are. The horrors of war are beyond our capacity. Thank you for the faith and courage that you give to our young men and women in battle. Our memories of these incidents are a holy ground. We honor all of these who have honored us. God bless our veterans, POWs, that's prisoners of war, MIAs, that's missing in action, the sick and injured, and all of their families with your loving arms around them. Lord, let us not forget sacrifices that keep America strong and free. Bless our disabled veterans, courageous veterans of war, survivors of weaponry, explosive devices, Agent Orange, and cancer. Lord, protect them of depression, suicide, heavy drink, and drugs. Bless our quadriplegic veterans in mind and body and spirit. A soldier can lose one half of his physical body, but can become whole in humbleness and spirituality. If we stand together, we can bind the hearts that are broken. For all of us who have fought in battle, welcome home. Job well done. Bless the families and the children for their sacrifices, for they are also survivors. God bless the leaders of our country and guide them in your ways. We are thankful for the gift of life you have given to us. Bless our American Legion family, VFW, rider groups, and all supporters of God and country. The Blue, Silver, and Gold Star moms and dads. Bless our mayor and city officials, our police, fire, rescue, for their daily sacrifices. May God bless us all on this day of memory and remembrance. God bless America, land that we love, our home sweet home. Stay united and faithful as one. Majestic, glorious, loving God and Father. Amen. Thank you.
For all those that are able, please stand. Sea Cadets, present the colors. Here we have the parade of colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Now we'll have the national anthem. Now we'll have the Marine Corps League Detachment 942 present the wreath. Thank you very much. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a man who has kept this beautiful monument behind me alive over the past several years. Both Congressman Desaulniers and Paul Gouveia have made these many years of remembrance possible on Memorial Day. United States Congressman Desaulniers has been a public service officer for roughly 35 years, serving as Concord City Councilman, Mayor, member of Contra Costa County, the Supervisors, California State Senator, and now a United States Congressman. Join me, please, in welcoming United States Congressman Mark Desaulniers.
It just seems like 35 years. I don't think it's been quite that long, but I appreciate the introduction. I just want to give you a little history about this site. As was mentioned, Paul Gouveia, who we lost a year ago, was a wonderful, wonderful, dedicated veteran. Resident Pleasant Hill was absolutely determined that when this memorial was falling into disrepair because of struggles at the county when I was a county supervisor, that it be brought up to the standards that we all wanted here in this area. So we did it. I have to acknowledge Contra Costa Electric and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. They donated over $100,000 worth of work to get the electrical system back up. And then we were able to negotiate with this hotel in the city of Pleasant Hill an easement so they continue to maintain it because they wanted to get in and out of this facility. So Paul was really wonderful. And this monument started because of an elected official during World War I. The county sheriff, Sheriff Veal, as you'll see if you look at the plaques on the monument, decided that Contra Costa needed a permanent memorial to all soldiers of all wars, but specifically to that war. And you can see on the plaque that Contra Costa contributed over 6,000 soldiers and seamen into World War I's effort, and 77 of them lost their lives all that far away. So it's a wonderful, wonderful tradition that we keep today. I really thank you all for coming and acknowledge those of us, or those who have in our community who have loved ones in the service, the families of those loved ones, thank you, and for those who have lost members of their family, and particularly for those people who have lost their lives. That Lincoln said so famously, the last full measure of devotion in this country. And I can't help but think of the times I've been here, which so many years with so many of you, how our times have changed. But this is a constant, this Memorial Day, of our rededication, reflection to people who have sacrificed their lives and put their lives in danger. Over 1 million Americans have lost their lives in combat since this country was formed. Over 7,000 Americans have lost their lives since September 11th. So thank you for being here. I will tell you, just sitting here, I was thinking my favorite moment, most emotional moment in this facility here was seeing the movie Saving Private Ryan. For those of you who don't know, Tom Hanks was born in Concord, California, at Yale Hospital, and he resided in Pleasant Hill before he moved to Oakland. But I remember seeing that movie, and it's something that I think is important to reflect on today, is that scene when he's mortally wounded on the bridge, and his character is looking at Matt Damon, Private Ryan, and he says, earn this. And I think that speaks to us now. All of us have a huge debt to repay all of those people who have lost their lives, all those people who are 19, 20, 21, who lost all those Memorial Days, the chance to marry, to have kids, to have grandkids. We should never take that sacrifice for granted, so thank you all for being here. And with that, I'm going to introduce my colleagues. I'm going to start with Senator Bill Dodge, somebody who I've had the good fortune to be friends with for many years. We were both county supervisors, Bill in Napa, myself in Contra Costa. We served on the Metropolitan Transportation Commission together. A wonderful elected official who represents this area, Senator Bill Dodge.
Thank you very much, Congressman. It is absolutely fantastic to be here today during this day that we remember those that lost their lives serving our country. It is a somber day in my family. My brother-in-law lost his life in the Vietnam War. He was a naval pilot, and so we remember him today. I've been asked to read a statement, actually, that's going to be very, very quick, because I just picked part of it from our governor of the state of California, Governor Brown. And Governor Brown says, today I ask all Californians to pay tribute to our fallen military heroes. In their memory, I have ordered the flags to be flown at half-staff at all state buildings and grounds throughout the state. In addition, I would like to ask you to participate in the National Moment of Remembrance and pause at 3 p.m. today for a moment of silence to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Let's not, this is me speaking, let's not forget their bravery. Let's not forget their valor. Let's honor them by embracing these universal tenets: honor of country, courage to defend it, and selflessness by giving to and honoring others. Thank you all for being here today.
Nicely done. So next up is Catherine Baker, Assembly member. I don't see her here. Is there anyone representing her? So we have, we get to have multiple electeds representing Contra Costa County, and this monument is about the entire county. So if Catherine comes, we will certainly introduce her. But next up is another Assembly member, former Mayor of Concord, former City Council member of Concord, Tim Grayson, Assembly Member Grayson.
Thank you, Congressman. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you had, in your opening remarks before introducing us, had mentioned that this is a time where we come and rededicate our commitment to remembering. And that was a question that I had posed to a veteran recently. Was we're celebrating Memorial Day again, and the purpose behind it, and the same message, the same theme that was given was that this day is unique. Number one, because it's the only day out of the entire year that all of us come together for the singular purpose of remembering those that paid the ultimate price and that gave their lives in defense of America. And then also what brings us together, even though we may be thinking about different names and different people, the very fact that we live free and that we have the freedoms that we have because of that price that they paid. And the day goes on, whether we're recognizing Gold Star families or whether it's the veterans, the combat veterans that are here that are remembering names of those that they served with. And so it goes with Memorial Day. But the one thing we must not ever allow is for this to become just repetitious, or for this to just become another cycle. Because you're going to hear speeches from us that are going to say pretty much the same thing. You're going to hear the patriotic songs that sound very familiar. The honoring of the flag by the presenting of the colors and the posting of those colors, they're not going to change. And taps, you're still going to have tears from the sound of taps. But all that put together, we as a nation must take the opportunity to stop and to remember, to honor and to salute those that laid their lives on the altar of freedom. Why? Because as we all know, freedom is not free. It never has been, and it never will. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Our next speaker is no stranger to all of us here, former mayor of Pleasant Hill, former council member, former park district director, and now county supervisor.
Good afternoon. My previous speakers have been very eloquent. I love history. Mark does too. He usually has a lot more quotes. Maybe he's got a few more to give us before the end of the day. But as many of you know, this is the 150th anniversary of the celebration of Memorial Day. It began in 1868 at the end of the Civil War. A period I find very, very interesting to read about. But I'm also, and I would encourage you to do this, it's taken me 4 years, but in 1918 we will celebrate in 2018 the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I, which of course, as we know, was the war to end all wars, and unfortunately it was not. But I would encourage you to bone up on some of your history. If the most you do is go to Google, go ahead, because it's very interesting, and I just think it's something that we need to do in addition to taking the time today to stop and remember those who laid down their lives. And as William said, those who have come home either with mental disabilities or physical disabilities, what that all meant and how important it is for those of us who have not been impacted by that. My family was born in between wars, so nobody had to serve, but I still appreciate and thank those who did. And thank you all for coming here today.
Thank you, Karen. Our next speaker, representing the city of Pleasant Hill, is the much esteemed Vice Mayor, Ken Carlson.
Thank you, Congressman. I will be brief. I just want to, on behalf of the mayor and the city council, welcome you to Pleasant Hill. We're very privileged to be the home of this monument to those that we have lost. As I come every year to this celebration, this remembrance, I think about how to motivate myself, how to take up the cause. I was fortunate. My father served in the Korean conflict, however, came back, thank God. But what I think about and what I do is we remember those that we lost. I think about what's the best way we can recognize and honor those people that we lost. 30 years in law enforcement, in the last decade, I saw so many of our veterans returning home, facing the challenges of becoming a part of society again, the disabilities that they were inflicted with. So what I would ask is, as we think about those that we lost, take up the challenge to support and fight for and bring those people that have returned home to us, those that have fought for us, find better ways to support them and recognize them and build them up. And with that, I thank you.
Our program, we say our next speaker is the Mayor of Martinez, Rob Schroeder. I haven't seen him. Rob, are you out there somewhere? No. Okay, and our next speaker in the program is the Mayor of Concord, but I hear another member is going to step in for him. He's not able to join us, Eddie Bursan. So Laura Hoffmeister, the former Mayor of Concord, currently a council member.
Wow, a little shorter than the other folks. But first of all, I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your schedules to be here with us today, to remember and to honor those that have given the ultimate sacrifice by giving their life to serve our country for its freedoms. And as the Vice Mayor from Pleasant Hill stated, what's one of the things that we can do to help remember those servicemen and women that came back and those that are still serving with us? Is not only trying to help them, but help the support organizations that are out there that help them. We have a lot that do for those that are wounded warriors. We have those that are dealing with mental health issues. We have programs with the Gold Star Moms and the Blue Star Moms that help continue to serve and to support our military veterans and our military active service personnel. Those that gave their life would want us to help those that were in combat with them or help serve with them, that we never forget, because we are continuing to remember those that are here with us, that have served, and that would be the best honor that we could provide in terms of a tribute to those that gave the ultimate sacrifice on our behalf over the last hundreds, more than even 150 years, but 150 years that we've recognized it. So it's my pleasure to be with you here today to honor those that have given their ultimate life. My dad was a World War II veteran in the Army Air Corps, still with me, 94 years old. And I see Chuck Hollers, our Pearl Harbor survivor out here. Chuck, wave. Chuck, long-time service person. Thank you, Chuck. Still with us, still kicking it up, still keeping us all in line. But I remember coming out to this memorial when it was in another location down the street with my father, and he brought me here every Memorial Day, and at that time even on Veterans Day, to remember and to honor those that had given the ultimate sacrifice. It was instilled upon me at an early age that we can never forget. And I encourage, and I'm glad to see younger kids here today, but I encourage you to make sure the next generation also does not forget and understands the sacrifices that those who have gone before have made on our behalf. Thank you very much.
I'm so glad that Laura pointed out our distinguished guest. I was at Clayton this morning, and he put a spellbinding at 94 years young story about what he went through on that day in Pearl Harbor. So thank you again for being here. I do want to just, before I introduce our last speaker of the elected officials, Karen mentioned history. So my favorite World War I story is when the Americans were getting into the war. Both the French, the Allies, the British, and the Germans were worn out. But the German High Command, there's documents that say that they weren't terribly worried about the United States because they dismissed our military capacity because we were a nation of immigrants and you couldn't put all these diverse people together and be meaningful in enough time for us to change the course of that war. So one of my favorite stories is the first group of American Marines were heading forward at the Battle of William Woods. And there was a Marine captain, Captain Sullivan, Irish-American immigrant, leading the Americans forward, and the Germans had counterattacked. The French were falling back, and they went up to Captain Sullivan and say, retreat, retreat, we're overwhelmed. The Germans are coming. And Captain Sullivan looked at him and said, retreat, hell, we just got here. Unfortunately, Captain Sullivan died in that battle a day or two later. So another wonderful memory of the spirit of this wonderful country, but also the sacrifice. And with that, thank you all for allowing us to be here. Thanks to all my colleagues for spending the time. And our last speaker is the Mayor of Walnut Creek, Justin.
I get everyone that initials up time, correct? So 15 minutes. Duty, honor, country. I cannot even begin to understand the meaning of these words. So my life journey has not involved walking with my brothers and sisters onto the hollowed fields of war. Nor do I possess the poetry of imagination nor the brilliance of metaphor, just like General MacArthur stated, to tell you what they all mean. However, I do know this country has been blessed. We've been blessed with tens of millions of individuals in the armed services who have a keen foundational awareness of exactly what these words mean. Individuals willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice for their band of brothers, their families, and in service of their country. Those who know the true feeling of having the fear of war wash over them, or having their ears drowned by a barrage of gunfire, or experience the witching melody of the far-off drums beating a long roll. Blessed by our ever-loving hand of our Maker, many courageously walked into the valley, thankful to return to their families, but with the never-fading memories of those men and women who served so bravely by their side, those of whom continue to bear the greatest wounds of war. Yet, far too many of them served, never to return. So on this day of days, we gather as a community to remember and honor those that have given the greatest sacrifice to our nation. Words cannot express our gratitude for their service, for they have not only provided future generations with the benefit of greater security, but allowed them to live in a world better off because of their sacrifice. They also allowed each of us to be here today, enjoying the fruits of the most prosperous and free country in the history of humanity. As such, a thank you or a salute or even these words cannot ever express our deepest appreciation for their service and for so many other benefits of having all of them in our lives. As the shadows of my days approach the light of eternity, I hope to look back upon my life and ascertain that I lived it with as much respect and as much character that justifies and honors the sacrifice of all those that perished in the service of our great country. And I truly hope that all of you can do the same.
Does it get any better than this? You guys are great. I like this. Thank you. Chuck, you remember the commitment? Next year with us here? Are you our speaker? Yes, sir. Okay, you heard it. Be here next year. Bring your friends. You won't believe, like Mark said. Unbelievable energy. Good. Nice to see you. Thanks. Okay. Now for our active duty military. The next speaker is our keynote speaker. I'm very proud to introduce to you the speaker for today's ceremony, Captain Jeffrey A. Miller, United States Navy. Captain Miller enlisted in the United States Navy in 1987. He has had command of 3 ships and has been deployed throughout the world. Currently, he is the Pacific Fleet Maritime Homeland Defense Officer in charge, Coast Guard Pacific Area. Will you all please welcome Captain Miller.
Can you guys see me all right? I'll do my best to do justice to today's event. I am
Probably by the end of it, you guys will figure out what injuries that I've gotten during the war and terror. And there's certainly nothing compared to a lot of my shipmates and some others. But I'd like to thank you for inviting me here today. But if anybody knows anybody on active duty, being asked to do something for a day like today is not an invite, it's an order. So I executed orders, and thank you for giving me that opportunity. I'd like to recognize the Veterans Remembrance Committee, as well as the other veteran groups for what they did to organize today's event. I love veterans. I love them with a passion because I think they're a bunch of cursed human beings. They are doomed never ever to forget the sacrifices that the generations of military service members have made for this country. And they know intimately the cost of the ink and the cost of the parchment that the Constitution is written on. So I really like veterans. And I'm honored to be here. And I'm pretty humbled as well to be in such a distinguished company. I'd like to recognize the elected members here. I sometimes make fun of elected officials, mainly because I can. Congress has restricted me on what I can say directly about elected federal officials, appointed federal officials. I'm not sure why. Well, he says that, but there's a bunch of other congressmen that might think different. But I appreciate the latitude. But I actually think they have a very hard job. Because even when they do their very best, there's a bunch of people that's not happy with them. And in today's climate, it seems that people are not happy with them just because of what they got behind their name, not for what they stand for, not what they do. So I think their job's a lot tougher than mine. Memorial Day, as it was said, it came from the Civil War. And the Civil War was a conflict where more Americans died than any other conflict that America's been involved in the history of the world. And there's a lot of lessons from the Civil War, and there's one lesson that I like to drive home, but it's not a lesson for us. It's a lesson for the rest of the world. I can't describe what an American is. I can't tell you what an American looks like. But I do know one thing about Americans is that we love our country. We love our freedoms. We love our liberties. We love our rights. So much so we're willing to destroy ourselves for them. Our ability, our strength, our resolve, as was proven in the Civil War, should never, ever be tested. If any country thinks that they can inflict as much damage on us that we can do to ourselves, they ought to think again. As a matter of fact, they ought to get that thought right out of their head. We are good friends to any country in the world that seeks our friendships. But what are we the best at? We're the best enemy any country will ever have, if they so choose. Good luck to them. You can applaud for that because I say it to foreigners all the time. I'm your best friend, but I'll be the best enemy you've ever had. It's your choice. Today is not about getting discounts for a mattress or getting free tires for the price of two or whatever they say. It's not about me getting a free lunch at Applebee's because apparently today I get a free lunch someplace. It's not a day off like the federal employees and state employees kind of look at it. And it's not like Veterans Day either. I think you already know how I feel about veterans. Veterans Day, we recognize some of the greatest Americans that ever walked the earth. We acknowledge that they have given so much to our country, and our country has tried to recognize and give so much back to them. But in my opinion, they don't have the will or the ability to give back to the veterans. It's just something politically, maybe fiscally, they just don't have in them. Our country has fallen so short many times when it comes to not recognizing. We do a good job recognizing people, but paying back. Memorial Day, though, is not about veterans, because during Veteran Day, I get to recognize the living. And I remember those that passed away as well. But today is about one thing and one thing only. It's about the dead. I want you to think about that. Today, we are remembering the dead. But I don't think remembering them does them justice. I think we should do what this day is really about. We should memorialize them. We shall memorialize them to ensure that their contributions and their sacrifices are forever etched in the memory and the soul of this great country. This is tough, so I'm going to take it off. Our actions today are about the men and women who wore the uniform, regardless if they died on active duty or later in life. Regardless if they died in combat or in peace. These people are honored a check that our government has written, and they paid that bill more than once. The people that we are memorializing today, they did not work for this country. They didn't work at all. They served. They served in ways that few citizens will ever understand. No fault of the citizens. It's just who we are. I want to drive that point home about service. Now, I have nothing against elected officials. I joke about it, but I don't. But people who are elected, they appoint for the federal government, they do take a very similar oath to support and defend the Constitution as we do in the military. First time I took that oath was June 22nd, 1987. I remember it well. And it goes something like this, and I'm going to paraphrase because the active duty service members and service members know I'm not swearing anybody in today, so it's a paraphrase of the actual oath. But we solemnly swear that we will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And we'll bear true faith and allegiance to the same. We're going to follow the orders of the President and the officers appointed over us. We take that oath as a song to us. I believe the difference when the civilian takes the oath to the Constitution and when a military person takes an oath, however slightly, is still pretty significant. I'm not saying that you guys should not be proud, and no offense to some of us more close to my age, I thought the youngest guy here knocked it out of the park with his speech, and I want to punch him in the arm, but I do know that's so. I might do it anyways. There is a big difference. Elected officials should be proud of what they do. They should have pride in what they're doing. But I feel when they take that oath of the Constitution, it's more about their position and the power they're about to assume. Sometimes I think that it's not about the Constitution at all, but what they want the Constitution to say or mean. And through their own actions, or sometimes, I am ashamed to say, through their inactions, or what they can get the Constitution to be interpreted as. I mean, if you want to look, if you doubt me, look no further than an election year for more misquotes and complete misrepresentation from the Constitution. And you get that also when people try to justify their own shortcomings. We in the military don't have that luxury. We never have. We hold the words of the Constitution as sacred as some might hold words in the Bible or in the Quran. When someone in the military takes the oath, it's not about the power of the United States government, as powerful as it is, but it's about the freedoms and liberties of people in this great country. It's about our role to ensure that every American, everybody here, and everybody that's not here, has a chance to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That line's not in the Constitution, but isn't that one of the best lines you've ever heard? Hoorah. It's about every single one of you here today. When I take my oath, it's about people I've never met. It's about every single American. And guess what? Your rights as outlined in appropriately the first 10 amendments called the Bill of Rights, well, they're more important to me than you are. When you think about that, we in the military hold your rights more important than you as a human being. We hold them in much higher regard. Because without those rights, this country would be like every other country in the world. It would be extremely average. You have to put extremely average when you think America might be that way. It will never be that way. I think we'll all agree that America is anything but average. And the awesomeness and the opportunities that is truly endless for anybody who wants them, that's here in America. Our will and our spirit will know no end and will never be tethered by anybody. And those rights that we have that I'm talking about, they don't come from the government like in other countries. They are not granted to you. You are born with them. They are yours. They are sacred. If you doubt me, please read the Declaration of Independence and do a deep dive on the Constitution. When I say deep dive on the Constitution, read the Federalist Papers. Get into it. It outlines your rights that are granted to you by nobody other than the fact that you were born with those rights. You breathing have those rights. Guess what? That means for non-Americans too. Yeah, America stands up for a lot of people's rights all over the world, and I ain't ashamed of it. And For the love of Pete, don't give your rights away. Hold them sacred. Fight for them. Defend those rights, if not for yourself, for the people you don't even know. And maybe fight for your rights with people you do know, you might even hate, because their rights are just as important as anybody else's. Fight with every last strength and every piece of your soul on those things, because I will tell you, don't let any government agency or any individual get a free pass at limiting those rights and taking them away. If you do that, I promise you, you will memorialize the people that we're here today to remember. In closing, I was given 20 minutes, and I don't think I'm even at the 10-minute mark, right? In closing, I encourage you to look at the grave markers and tombstones that we put our flags on today. Look beyond those flags. Look at the life of that person. Look at when they served and where they served. Think about you today. If you had to serve at that person's age and in that time frame. Look at when they died, how old they were. Think about all their accomplishments that they might have had in their life, or all the accomplishments they really never got a chance to get. Let us think about the little things that we take for granted today. I think of my children, my parents, my loved ones, my wife, my friends, my shipmates, which is a sacred term to me. I think about morning coffee. I think about jobs and homes and how people live. Now I want you to think about that person's name that's carved in that stone, who sacrificed for a period of their life, or they sacrificed at the end of their life. Those little things that we take for granted. Because I'm here to guarantee you, those little things are not little at all, they're ginormous. Try to think of what you guys have here today and what they actually gave to you through their sacrifices. And do that today, not for me, but for yourselves, because that is what today is really about. And that's how we memorialize the greatest Americans that will never be able to walk the earth again. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to execute my order. And I will pay for my.
Thank you, Captain Miller. Okay, at this time, I'd like to invite up our American Legion District 9 Chaplain, William Getz. And for those that are able, please stand. We'll go through the invocation and then follow right through with the retirement of flags. Thank you.
Okay, the fifth group that I got to be privileged to ride with is called Sons of Thunder. And that's out of Concord, and we do prison ministries for all people. If you ever find yourself in a tunnel of discouragement, keep walking towards God's light. Uncover, please. God hears us when we call to him. His ears take in each voice. The knowledge that he's always there should cause us to rejoice. Your ways, O Lord, are higher, and your knowledge is immense. Give us strength to trust in you when life doesn't make much sense. God's grace through faith promises that we may see our loved ones again for eternity. Remember all those who have fallen in battle throughout the years. Remember all in hospitals, facilities, and forgotten places. Lord, bless them all and fulfill their needs. Help our homeless, disabled, sick, hurting, and healing. We pray for the peace in the world. God bless our vets. May the good Lord bless us all here today, and may we be good examples and a shining light unto you, Father. There is no greater love than a person that gives his or her life or limbs to protect another in defending his country. We continue to fight for our freedoms with our sacrifices. Freedom is not free. The hand of the Father is behind all good things. Loving, kind, and patient Father, this we pray in your most precious name. Amen. Thank you all.
Retire flags, please. Okay, and now if you can join me in God Bless America by Kate Smith.
From the mountain to the prairie to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I
Okay, that concludes our program. For those history buffs, take a look at these guys. They know it all. They'll tell you about each of those uniforms. Enjoy them, enjoy the Jeep in the back, and thank you so much for coming. It's very important to keep the memories alive. Thank you.
Let's see.